Welcome to Ante Up, XXL's podcast where the hip-hop and sports worlds collide. The XXL staff, along with key members of the hip-hop community, will be getting listeners caught up on all the major sports news from the past week and take a look at the upcoming games ahead. You'll never know who may stop by in this week's episode. This is hip-hop on a higher level.
Yo, this is Ante Up, XXL. We're back. This is like episode, I don't even know anymore. It's been a lot. It's been a lot of episodes. It's been a lot of fun. And today is going to be a fantastic day. As always, it's Manny.
It's Roger.
And we got a special guest here, MMG Finest.
Young Rockie Fresh, what's good?
Nice. Man, so I guess we just dive right in, man. So, D'Angelo Russell.
Young D'Angelo.
I don't know, man. Like, it's just like, it's just certain things that it maybe because I'm older, but I'm just like, when I was younger, I don't even think I would even think of that. Yeah. But for those who don't know, D'Angelo Russell recorded Nick Young saying some scandalous things. Nick Young, Swaggy P, is currently engaged to Iggy Azalea, and Nick Young got him. D'Angelo Russell got him saying that he pretty much cheated.
On Snapchat, right?
He said he posted it on Snapchat and got hacked, but like, why even post that on Snapchat? Like, why even record it? Period. But I just want to hear your thoughts. What's the general thoughts?
Rocky.
I mean, it's definitely some 2016 drama, you know. Like, I think in the past that would have just stayed in between the locker room, but now that you got all these social sites like Snapchat and all of that, you just got to be more smart. So I think D'Angelo being 19, this being his first season. I hate that happened to him. I really hate that it happened to Nick Young. Shout out to the homie, too. He always been supporting, you know what I'm saying? He always supported the record. God is great, so I hate to see that go down with him. But I think, I don't know if his team going to let him bounce back from it. I don't even want to say hopefully they do because that's really none of my business. But just a message to all the young homies out there, man. Be careful with that Snapchat stuff, man.
Social media
You a
game
grown
can fuck
man.
you up.
Be careful.
Social media is so dangerous, man. I just be sometimes I'm thinking like, is it worth it? But I'm like, all right, it's good for news. But then, man, like these days, like you tweet something, that's a statement. You've put up something that's what you believe in.
And I think it's a false belief that you need these things to be successful. Like you see guys like Kendrick and J. Cole, they don't really do too much of that, and they have great careers. So I just feel like, be focused on what you focused on. If Snapchat, Instagram, all of that falls in line with your path of success, and of course, you play into that. But when it start getting too personal and you got another job, i.e. being a basketball player, point guard for the Lakers, you just kind of need to fall back off of that and focus on getting some W's.
I was watching Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith talk about the whole situation. They went in for like 12 minutes, and Stephen A. Smith was practically just saying, that D'Angelo should get traded. Like, traded like ASAP.
That's deep.
If you're in a team like that, something like that happened, what would you do, Rocky?
But see, here's the thing. It's like, in that perspective, who going to want to play with him if he get traded for that? And that kind of just exits him out the league. And it's unfortunate that it went down. I don't want to see no black man out here not being able to get some money doing what he loves. But at the same time, you got to smarten up. In his defense, he 19. I would never do nothing like that at 15, 14. But, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, everybody raised different. And he a good athlete. So I feel like, hopefully they come to some type of terms where he can move forward from this. But like once again, man, just be careful with that Snapchat stuff, man.
It's just crazy because the Lakers right now, like Kobe's he's gone. So after the farewell tour, which is like what 6 games left,
6 or 7, yeah.
D'Angelo Russell is your franchise player. That's what you drafted at number 2 for.
Yeah.
So you essentially can't trade him. Like you just got to eat it. And so I was thinking, like, what can he do? Well, he held a press conference. First, he went to Nick Young privately and apologized. Then he held a press conference saying, "Yo, I'm fooled, basically. Like I did something stupid. I'm sorry. I feel sick." And so I honestly, he may just have to get jumped by his teammates and just be like, "Yo, y'all can beat me up."
We need a 90-point game.
and he has to ball out. Like he has to ball out.
We need him to drop 90.
Because this will probably stay with him for like the next couple of years. Because I saw NFL players tweeting about this, not even like tweeting like no at like go on D'Angelo's Twitter, retweet him with the quotes, and tweet at him saying, "Yo, you're corn."
Here's the thing, though. Everybody got to be careful with that, though, because it's like you know what I'm saying, entertainment, sports, all of that, man. Everybody got a little bit of something that they keep in the tuck.
Exactly.
So it's like you just gotta be real careful even judging him, because you don't want nobody to turn up on you, put your info out, and you know you just gotta let that be what it's gonna be. That man gotta deal with his team, his homies, his family.
Exactly.
It's like, you know, that's why I can't really cast too much judgment on him. He couldn't be my homie like moving forward,
Right.
you know. But you know that's personal. Like I think from a business perspective, it's too many skeletons in people's closets to be like
Definitely.
playing that game with him.
Yeah.
You never know who gonna get, you know, curious to put out somebody else's business next. And now that it's weird. We live in a time where people want to gain attention off of anything, even if it means throwing the next man under the bus. And I'm not saying D'Angelo did that, but I'm sure that it raised a lot of eyebrows for some people that are willing to do that. Everybody
definitely.
just gotta walk light. You gotta watch who you keep in your circle. You gotta watch who you tell your business. And it just sucks that Nick Young had to be an example of that.
Man, Nick Young's face yesterday in the press conference was like, yo, he was devastated, bro.
Yeah.
Devastated. He looked like he just finished crying too. Like, and it's sad, like, you know what I'm saying? Like just to get caught like that through your teammate. Like I don't know how it feel. Like I don't know how Nick Young would.
Bro, it's
I would have fucked them up already.
Oh, I would have killed him. I would have
Yeah.
killed him. I would have killed him as soon as I found out. Like, oh yeah, we got it. We got to shoot the fade. Something gotta happen.
That's probably gonna go down in the office.
But all right, so let's talk about the real story in the league. Of course, the Warriors. They're like a couple of games away from breaking the Bulls. Was 96-97 season.
Yeah, they beat the Utah Jazz yesterday. Barely won.
Yeah.
but,
Turn up on the Warriors. Don't let it happen. NBA team.
as a Chicago head and as a
man.
Bulls, probably seen the Bulls since birth.
Yeah.
Like, is that something like you don't want to see? Because I thought that record would never break.
Never.
I mean, I have two sides of it. Like, jokingly, I don't want to see that happen. You know, because I'm a huge Chicago Bulls fan. But at the same time, me being a young person that's, you know, coming up and trying to create my own lane and break my own records in the fields that I'm in, it's really dope to see people my age group, you know, setting new records. So I'm happy to see that they're doing what they're doing. In defense of the Bulls, you know, we're going to have to see at least 5 more rings come with that.
Definitely.
You know?
It's
So
crazy.
we good with all
man.
the single season records. We gotta see some 5. We gotta see at least 6 rings from stuff.
Have you ever seen a player like that of that caliber right now? Like
No
when
way.
LeBron was pop, like
No way.
never.
Steph is like a whole nother thing, and I think that's awesome for like just anything that you do to be able to see somebody like that that's created a lane in such a legendary game to the point where he can show you something you've never seen before. That should give everybody motivation to. Whatever you do, you can find some type of little niche that, you know, can separate you from anything that's been done in history. And I think he shows that. He played like a globetrotter almost in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So it's really dope to see. And, you know, I think they're going to get the record. But like I said, you know, I want to see some more rings from him.
And it's somebody that it's relatable. Like I'm a small dude, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I can't,
Me
you know what I
too.
mean? I can't fucking dunk, but
Yeah.
I could relate
You
to.
feel me? And it's dope, too, because he got a real story. You know, he overcame a lot of stuff. He just got off of some serious injuries. He just persevered and, like, really worked harder than everybody else, and it pays off.
Definitely.
Man, like, what I was thinking of, I was talking to my friends, I was like, would you rather Derrick Rose or Butler right now? Who would you want to see?
It's funny because I got asked that question 2 days ago from one of my homies at the crib, and it's such a hard choice.
It's hard.
You know, because they play 2 different positions. I could see if Butler was, like, you know, trying to be the point guard or whatever, but I think they complement each other really well when they're at their healthiest points, you know. And right now, D Rose is really playing well. Leading into this point, Jimmy was holding it down, so I really would be curious to see, you know, when they at tip-top shape, how they play together. I don't think we've seen it before, but I think if you rewind back to when Derrick Rose was playing with even Ben Gordon, it was like a crazy time in Chicago, and even the playoff run that we was embarking on. I think Jimmy is a little bit more defensive and well-rounded than even what's his name, Ben Gordon. So, you know, I would like to see how they play together. I can't really pick one, honestly.
Speaking on the playoffs, so you guys are 2 games away from.
Let's not talk about it.
Oh man,
That hurt.
you see them like actually getting a spot?
I mean, I don't know about that. It's a very up in the air thing, and I think that's what makes it tough. As being a fan, like I hope they get in there, but I'm an NBA League Pass dude, so I watch everything, and it's tough, man. The chemistry a little shaky right now. Shout out to Fred Hoiberg. He overcame a serious heart condition, and I got a lot of respect for that. However, it's like we need him to whip this team in the shape,
So. You guys got the talent, man.
Yeah.
You guys got the talent. It's a shame, like, to me, Noah's one of my favorite players.
Yeah.
And I think he brings so much energy and that hustle that
definitely.
That's what I know Chicago Bulls for. Like that hustle that.
And the absence of him on top of the absence of the defensive focus, you can see it.
Man.
Who do you think is gonna like? Do you think anyone other like? What do you think the playoffs gonna look like? Like, do you think the Spurs has a chance to beat the Warriors? Do you think OKC can come in there and surprise them? Do you think Cavs? Think the Toronto may beat the Cavs?
Man, it's deep this year, honestly. And I'm a huge OKC fan. That's like my second favorite team outside of the Bulls. So I want to see them do well. As far as them beating the Warriors and the Spurs beating the Warriors, I think it's going to be a challenge all the way around. I think you can never count out Greg Popovich. He's shown that, years and years. And so it's just like it's going to be interesting in the West. But I wouldn't be surprised if Golden State wins everything. I think, even with the Cavs, they dealing with their own drama right now. And a lot of times that can be a distraction on what you need to do for the playoffs. So we're going to see how they play through it. Also, the East is pretty, it's pretty sweet. I think Toronto got a good chance. But also it's about being seasoned and just knowing how to win. Like the regular season is a lot different. And I think teams like the Clippers kind of show that. It's like when you get into that playoff realm, you can get close. But overcoming multiple games to advance to the next level is a tough thing. And I will give LeBron his credit in the sense that he's a master of getting his teams to at least the Eastern Conference Finals, if not, the finals. So, I think they're going to have a good chance in the East. But I think Golden State might come out on top.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting also seeing Blake Griffin, too, see if the chemistry is going to still be there.
Yeah, that's real.
It's going to take – he's probably going to come back rusty and shit, you know what I'm saying? It's going to take some time for him to, have the chemistry again, with Paul and Jordan.
Definitely. They've been playing together for a minute, though. All he got to do is run his pick and roll.
Lob City.
Then do his little pick and pop because he got his mid-range jumper going now, too. So, as long as he's shooting that in practice, I feel like he's going to be all right.
Who's been a surprise team for you this season?
Surprise team. You know who I've been watching? I don't even know if they in the playoffs. But I really like the Timberwolves, man.
I love the Timberwolves, bro.
They got a nice core.
Young team. Not going to make the playoffs, but.
Yeah, I like what they bring to the table. I think that they're going to be a force in the league for years to come. And I also think it's dope that KG is over there really teaching, Anthony Towns how to move around out there. You can really see it. Like, he nice.
Yeah.
And he shocked me a lot, just with his gameplay, just with his intensity. He really hungry to be one of the top dudes in this game. Shout out to Andrew Wiggins. Shout out to Zach LaVine. They got a squad over there, man.
Young squad, too. That's going to be for years right there.
Definitely.
You can see that happening.
I'm looking forward to seeing them grow.
Yeah, man.
I was having this conversation, just a little bit off topic. I was having this conversation about this with a couple of friends. What's some of the bro codes you can't break? Like, what's worse than what Sandro did? Is it like you talking to someone's girl? Is it
I mean, I don't even know what.
I don't know if it gets worse.
I don't know exactly.
And the reason why is because if you talking to somebody else's girl, then that's the girl fault.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my homies can, reach all day. That's we men. Like, it happens. Everybody gonna make their passes. But when you get a green light from a girl, we all know when that green light comes. And it's like, if a girl giving out that green light, insinuating that one of your homies can go, then you got to know what time it is with that girl,
I'm trying to think. What are the bro codes like? You just can't break. I'm just like
no snitching.
No snitching.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the
really
big one.
Everything for the homies.
That taught a big lesson to a lot of people yesterday. A big lesson.
Don't record your friends, even when you joking. Like, just them saying important and serious things. You could tell when men are having serious conversations.
Yeah.
Just don't record.
What I don't get is how the fuck did it leak when D'Angelo says that he didn't know how it leaked? Like, I'm like,
Well, I mean, he put it on Snapchat, right?
supposedly he didn't personally put it on Snapchat, that somebody else put it on Snapchat. I'm like, so somebody else grabbed your phone.
I'm the wrong guy to ask.
To keep it- to keep it a-
use all this stuff still.
To keep it a buck, he probably was talking to the chick. It was like, look at this funny shit. Sent it to the chick, and the chick was like, okay, and just leaked
Well,
it.
he should have known
I
sending
hope
it
that
to a
didn't happen,
chick.
though.
Yeah.
I hope he didn't do
And
that.
the only thing that makes sense, because like you say it was a joke, so he kept it. Rule number one, said he got hacked from Snapchat. That doesn't even make sense whatsoever. Like he sent it to somebody, and that person was just like, "Well, I'm trying to get this paper," and then just leaked it.
That's unfortunate.
That's crazy. And then you know what's scary? A girl was like, "There's a guy in each group, each male group." So I'm just like, "No, it's not." But then you just never know these days, man.
You never know, man.
Yeah.
Don't ask me about no females. Don't ask me about none that I'm doing. None of that. Don't ask me. I'm
Those
not gonna say
Snapchat around you, none of that
Yeah,
shit.
None of that. If you ain't Khaled, don't come around me.
What's your favorite Bulls memory?
Man, my favorite Bulls memory. It's crazy because it's like I saw a lot of the Jordan stuff. So I got to say that, his last shot that he hit on Utah was definitely number
Russell,
one.
right?
Russell, yeah. Russell.
Then number two, it had to be when Derrick Rose dunked on Dragic. That was
Hell yeah.
That was the greatest shit
Hey,
ever.
bro, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? It just happened?
With two heads.
And we still watch that to this day just out of appreciation.
Damn.
I think the league really underrates that dunk. Like, that might be top 5.
That
you
dunk
know,
is
dunks
crazy.
in the
You
game
can't-
on a person.
Yeah.
Period.
That dunk, like that's up there with Tracy over Bradley.
Yeah.
That's
and
up there with Vince Carter.
Vince Carter on that
Alonzo.
Russian player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vince Carter over
I think he
Alonzo.
called Alonzo
Yeah,
crazy.
crazy.
And
I
I
don't.
think he called Mutombo crazy
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Vince Carter got some. Vince Carter got hit list is
You know who a
crazy.
sleeper with the dunks though? Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
Yo.
There was one time he dunked on KG and Jermaine O'Neal in the same season when they won the championship. You gotta go on YouTube and watch
That was
those.
Flash Days?
Man, Flash Days. Shaq,
Woo.
was playing
Oh
in the
my
background
God.
just watching him shine.
Do you remember LeBron over Damian Jones?
Of course. Of course. LeBron had some nasty ones too. A lot of his come off the oops too.
Yeah.
He'll catch a oop on the fool. Crazy.
Man, I watched like dunks like for hours. You can watch dunks for hours, just like
of
going
course,
back in
man.
time. I remember seeing Sean Kemp dunk on a dude and point at him and laugh.
Yeah.
90s was wild, man.
Nah, it was a crazy time, man. I wish I was a little bit older just so I
Yeah.
can like really register a lot of the things that I saw. But it was just life was moving so fast, There's certain things I remember, like I said, the Jordan era, because it was so close to home. It was home. But it's just like, a lot of that stuff, I grew up watching it. And now it's just so much new stuff going on that it's hard for me to really reflect on a lot of that. So I'm really grateful for ESPN Classics.
Definitely. How do you
know.
feel like, obviously the 90s was more physical,
Yeah.
the game was way more physical, and then now it's kind of like, they push LeBron, it's a foul right away.
Yeah.
Do you like the more aggressive style that they had back in the days, or do you like this whole like, I don't even know what to call it now.
I really do like the more aggressive style. I think it made the game a lot more competitive. And then I think it just shows you the strength of players. Like Allen Iverson, case in point, that was a guy that wasn't physically strong in the sense of what people would label strong as far as his weight and his size. But just like mentally in his heart, he had to endure so much in the league to do what he did. And I think, it would be nice to be able to see more players like that. But also, I think we all smart enough to know who could have survived back then, like a Russell Westbrook. He definitely could have lasted in the 80s, the 60s, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he just got that heart. So, and then
I think
too,
Curry would not be as
but
good
see,
as.
here's the catch with him, and that's what I was gonna say. Like, he turned it into a shooter's game, him and Clay. So it's like, how do you even stop a person that pull up from half? You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you run traps.
Yeah.
Like full court presses. And then they're so fast, they going to run through that. So, I don't know. Like, Steph, I hear a lot of the older guys that's knocking him right now for what he's doing. I'm curious to see if they can stick him, honestly.
True.
Dog, man, I never thought I would see a shooter first team win a championship, but they killing it right now, man.
And they will take you to the rack every now and then.
Yeah.
That's the catch. It's like, that's why I like having the NBA League Pass, because a lot of these guys, they catch the highlights of him crossing people over, hitting the threes. Low-key, Steph get a lot of layups.
Yeah.
A lot of layups, because they run good cut plays, you know? So it's like, I think he, you know, as a team, Steve Kerr knowing what he knows, just being on winning teams, could have been interesting to see how they would match up against some of these teams in the 90s. Not saying that they would beat them.
Right.
I think it would be a fun matchup to watch.
Definitely.
Let's play. I was doing this before. Who would you rather is a game where you say two people and be like, who would you rather start a team with? Steph Curry or Russell Westbrook?
I mean, it's tough, man, because like I told you, I'm an OKC fan. I love Russell Westbrook. But if we just going based off facts, I got to go with Steph just because he winning more.
Draymond Green or who's the guy
Boogie.
for that?
Young Boogie.
Or Boogie.
I knew y'all was going to say that. That's what's crazy.
Boogie.
Bro. And it's like, I like DeMarcus Cousins a lot, too. I think
That's
he's
one of my favorite players,
amazing,
man.
bro.
That's
I
one of my
think he's
favorite
amazing.
players.
But at the same time, you know, I got to roll with the winners, man.
Yeah.
Draymond, you know, he get a little bit more assists. He's just a little bit more of a team player. I think DeMarcus Cousins needs to possibly be on a better team. Then I would pick him,
Yeah.
LeBron now. So this is both now. LeBron now or Steph Curry? Who would you start the team with?
I'm going to still go with Steph.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to LeBron, though. But I'm going to go with Steph on that.
What's the dude name from the Bucks?
Greek Freak, yeah.
Greek Freak
I can't pronounce the last name.
or Damian Lillard?
I love Dame.
I got to go with Damian, man.
Dame.
He's a huge supporter of the hip-hop culture, too.
Yeah, right?
I hear your raps, Damian.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
What you think about the raps?
I think he better than a lot of other rapper artists. I mean, ball players that I heard, you know.
And he takes it serious, too. His
Yeah,
craft. So I
yeah.
appreciate that, too.
I think his game is going to another level, too. And I kind of relate to him because I feel like he all-star quality. He just don't get the recognition, you know, so I feel
I
that.
think it's where he plays that Portland. People don't really get
Yeah.
to see a player like that. But to
That's
me,
real.
Damian, if Steph Curry wasn't there, I think he would be up there with the MVP conversation.
Yeah, I think
definitely this
him
year.
and Westbrook and Steph are really running lead with point guards right now. But I also think once my boy D Rose get healthy, it's a wrap.
Yeah. And we can't forget about Chris Paul, too. He's had a hell of a season.
Chris Paul, the OG.
Chris Paul,
man.
Yeah.
He the OG.
Can't
You
believe-
guys think he gonna get a ring? Quick question for y'all.
I don't,
Hey, he's got to join that super team that they're talking about. Carmelo, LeBron, all that.
Yeah.
If it happens, but I don't
You
think
wanna
at the
see
Clippers. I don't want to see that shit.
I want to see it. I
wanna
like to
see
see it? Yeah, I like to see it. I like to see it.
It would be funny if they don't win even
Yeah.
after they do that.
They're all like 30, so we pretty much got like, what, 2-3 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that for 2-3 years. See, like, let's get this team
Kind of
going.
like a Boston Celtics. type.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't mind
I'm
that.
not mad at it.
He need to get out of there because he's not winning nothing in the Clippers, though.
Yeah, and it's
'Cause-
unfortunate because the Clippers got a dope roster. I
Yeah.
like all their players. Just, that chemistry, they got to find it.
Yeah, they don't have a shooter.
You blame Doc Rivers?
It's just the team makeup. Like, I have no idea why they got Lance Stevenson, and I love Lance
I like
Stevenson.
Lance Stevenson, too.
Like-
I've been following him since his Seton Hall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bruh, born ready. I love that dude.
Yes, sir.
But
From
it's-
the NY. you
yeah.
know?
Exactly.
But that team, they don't got a shooter. They're third and fourth, they're second and third best player. No, they're first and third best player. Billy Griffin and D'Angelo Jordan. You can't play them in the fourth quarter because they can't shoot free throws.
And I'm my boy Jamal Crawford, though. Chicago should have kept him.
Yeah.
Jamal Crawford is a
That's
problem.
When the
That's
tickets
one of my
was
favorites.
cheap. I used to go to all the games. He used to be putting up 30. I remember one night he gave Jamal Tinsley like 38. That's one of the best moments of my
Jamal
young life.
Tinsley.
Yeah, he gave Jamal Tinsley that work. I was in the
Sheesh.
building.
Dog, Jamal Crawford is one of my favorite players, man. That his handle is
His dribble is
crazy.
crazy.
And the 4-point playability is very underrated.
Yeah. Always. And gets fouls all the time.
And still knock it down. Nothing
Yeah.
but the bottom of the net. You got to respect that.
Yeah, I want him and Paul. Let me just get out of there, man, because they're just the way to make up. They're just not winning anything. It's
See,
just
that
like
LA life, that's hard to leave.
exactly.
Trust me, I know.
Now, with LeBron saying that he wants to possibly play with these guys, you see LeBron leaving Cleveland, even though he unfollowed the Cavaliers on Twitter and all that. You know what I'm saying? Do you see that happening? Because the rumors are strong now.
I feel like LeBron is a really unpredictable guy.
Yeah.
you know, and you never know what to expect from him. I wouldn't be surprised if he was on the Warriors next year. I don't know. You know
That would be crazy.
I don't know what to expect from LeBron, but I think that's what makes him his own guy. You know, it's like he's not afraid to make decisions that make him feel good. And I feel like a lot of players in the past, they've always done what other people wanted them to do, and I think LeBron has totally changed the game and has said, man, I'm going to do what I want to do. No matter who I play with, no matter what city I go to, you know, if it makes me feel good, I'm going to go. So with that, I think it's very hard to tell what he's going to do. And I think Cleveland is not a bad team. I think Kyrie is insane. I like JR, I like Iman. He the homie. So it's good to see him over in Cleveland, you know, being able to go to the playoffs and stuff. He's from Chicago. So it's like I would like to see them stick together. Kevin Love, too. I think he dope. I think they got to figure it out as well. And I feel like a lot of these fans underestimate the power of having a good coach.
Right.
You know, so I don't know if that's the issue, or I don't know if LeBron is over it. But it's going to be a surprise. Well, not a surprise. It's going to be interesting to see what he do after this.
Offseason is going to be really interesting. Yeah.
Man, if he leaves Cleveland though, like they're gonna hate him for the rest of their life.
You better not go back to Cleveland after that.
It's over for him because he came there saying, "Yo, I'm back home. Want to bring home a championship." Well, this is what I hate about LeBron. Just don't say anything because you get yourself in trouble. You did it in Miami. We was like 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, and now he did it again. I'm just like, oh my God.
See, you kind of gotta respect that about him. He just don't care. He speak on his feelings for the time being, and when he changes, like, you know what? I don't want to do this no more.
No, we'll see, man.
Are you watching the Final Four this weekend?
I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I honestly been sleep on a lot of college basketball this year. I don't know why, but it's just like I don't know a lot of the players.
Yeah.
I've heard Ben Simmons. I've heard Buddy Hield.
Buddy
You know,
Hield's
so
a
I know
problem.
about
Buddy
those
Hield,
two. And I'm trying to think about who else I know.
The kid from Kentucky's nasty.
What's his name? Oh, Tyler Ulis.
Ulis is good, but is it Kentucky? It's Ingram.
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 Yeah, I heard of both of them. Ulis
That
and
dude is
Ingram, yeah.
filthy, man.
So it's like, you know, I know a few players, but I'm going to definitely try to catch it. I'm into boxing, too, so I'm actually going to be watching
nice.
the Adrian Broner fight on tomorrow. Him versus Ashley Theophane. I'm really curious to see if he come back, you know what I'm saying?
You a Broner fan?
I got a lot of respect for Broner.
Okay.
He the homie, you know what I'm saying? Him and his camp, they always showed us a lot of respect. They huge supporters of MMG. Ross has always embraced them. So, you know, he a wild dude, but I want to see him do well. And also, you know, the guy Ashley Theophane, he's a part of Floyd's camp, and I got a lot of respect for Floyd, too. So I think it's going to be a good fight.
Man, I hope, speaking on Floyd, I hope to see him at least one more match, man.
I don't know.
He's at that 49. I'm like, make it 50. That's
I don't
it.
know. I think he got to go out 49-0. Just because it's like, that's rare to find a boxer that's completely undefeated and has actually fought everybody that you want him to fight. Like, the Pacquiao thing was extremely overrated to me, by the way.
That shit was the most boringest match
But
ever.
here's the thing. What did people expect? Pacquiao lost 6 fights. Like, people made it seem like Pacquiao was just undefeated versus another undefeated. Pacquiao then lost to people that Floyd has beat and people that he wasn't supposed to lose to. So I don't know. I think that shows Floyd as a businessman, too, which is what I respect. That he made this guy with 6 L's and, like, 2 draws look like he was an undefeated, you know, unbeatable guy. And then when he beat him in a very flawless, easy,
a Mayweather fight,
simple way, you know, then it became a problem for people. But I don't think Pacquiao should have ever been considered on that level. And I think his current fight that he's about to have versus Bradley again is symbolic of the fact that he
lost against Bradley, right? The first time. Yeah.
I think they're tied for their matches against each other. So this next fight is like their last fight. But I think you know, Pacquiao never should have been seen at that level.
You're right.
Canelo was probably the best fighter that Floyd has fought in the past few years. And I think he's going to be the next big dude in the boxing. He fight Amir Khan next month, so I'm going to be watching that too.
That's going to be a good match.
Yeah,
that's going to be a great match.
It's going to be crazy.
I'm glad that, I mean, I just hope that, you know, now that Mayweather's out of the boxing game or whatever, I just hope it picks up the way it used to be. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's why I like Adrian Broner, is because he the real like loudmouth out out of the boxing
need that.
world.
You
And
need that in
it.
boxing.
It's good for the sport. He just got to win more.
Yeah.
I think it'll be dope.
When I saw him catch that, when he fell and shit, that first fight that he lost and shit, I was just like, damn. Like, I didn't know how he was going to recover, but he came back strong, you know?
Nah, you got to. And I think that's, the big part about, like, confident boxers is, like, they take L's. Muhammad Ali took some L's. Just got to keep going through that.
Definitely. You watch UFC as well? Or
I only watched the big fights. Like, I watched the last big
Conor
fight.
McGregor one?
Yeah, I watched that.
they made the rematch now yesterday.
I didn't know
July
that.
7th.
Man,
July
how you
7th.
feel about that? You think
I love Conor McGregor. Listen, you need somebody to talk shit and to back it up
Exactly.
like that. And even though he lost, but he went up 2 weight classes to fight this dude.
I love both those guys,
So
man.
I give you props for trying that.
Yeah.
But you should have, you know what I mean?
God played a little smarter, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love
That's
both
all
those
it is.
guys, man.
People, the internet, I feel like it hype up a lot of entertainers and they're doing more
everything.
than what they do. And the smart ones, they know how to stay in their role, and I think that's what makes Floyd great.
Yeah.
It's like he not gonna do too much. Cause for what? What do I have to prove to you? I made
Yeah.
300 million in one night. What is there to talk about? And I won. So it's like I feel like with him, a lot of other athletes need to take that approach.
Definitely.
And I think McGregor should take that. I respect what he did. But it's like, man, you got a great legacy going.
Yeah, don't fuck
Let's
it
not
up.
step out just to please the internet. you
Yeah.
know?
McGregor is literally the real life Ric Flair. Like,
Yeah.
this guy.
I agree.
That's why I love him. I was like,
Shout out
yo,
Ric Flair, man. Nature boy.
Nate Diaz.
You guys
is-
use that skit. I'll never forget that off MMG3.
Yes,
the skit,
sir.
the
Yes,
Nature Boy
sir.
skit. I was like,
Fucking-
oh my God, classic right
So
there.
you really listen to
I
stuff
know.
like
Come
that.
on now.
I respect that.
Fucking, I went to Raw on Monday when it was in Brooklyn, and he came out still the same guy, man. Just off there like this, doing all the
80
moves.
years old. Still.
80 years old. His
Lot of
daughter
moves.
fights. Yeah. Still
sir.
moving. Love that guy, man.
Do you keep up with the wrestling product nowadays? Or?
Not as much as I
Right.
used to. I was really into it when I was a kid. Man, Rey Mysterio was my favorite dude.
Dog.
He was small. He was just holding it down.
He's still around. He actually had a fight last week. It was against Kurt Angle, and Riff Raff jumped in the.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so rare that I was
I
like,
might
what
have
the
to
fuck?
start watching it again.
Yeah.
Smoke me a couple bees and watch some wrestling. I know Wale into it super heavy. And it's funny
WrestleMania
too.
Sunday too.
I was just texting Smoke Dizza before we came here.
Yeah.
And he's actually going to WrestleMania. It's in Dallas, right?
Yeah,
so
I think
he-
him and Wale are going,
yeah,
right?
so I was trying to get a little, and he out here in Dallas. But
Nice.
it's a lot of rappers that support it, and I guess I need to wake up a little bit because I used to rock with it as a child.
Yeah,
for sure.
it's a good thing to see it kind of become more relevant in the hip hop circle.
Yeah.
Back in the days, I feel like we as hip hop fans kind of were like, I don't know, if somebody
Yeah.
brings up the topic, we'll talk
Yeah.
about it. If not, then nobody's gonna know that I'm a
See,
wrestling
I
fan.
really thought I was in NWO Red and Black when I was a kid, bro. I really thought I was that.
You was with
know?
Kevin Nash in
You
the crew.
feel me? I was with Kevin Nash. Then my boy Goldberg took over WCW with the spear.
Yeah.
It's funny because my bro right here, you know what I'm saying? We used to have like wrestling sleepovers. It was girls there too, even when we was shorties, so don't trip. But we used to have our little wrestling parties. It used to be WCW versus WWF.
Nice.
It was crazy, man. I was really into wrestling, so y'all about to get me back into it. Salute.
Definitely. That's what's up.
What do you have planned? What do you have coming out?
Man, how early is this gonna air?
Probably
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay, well, yeah, we got a new mixtape dropping today. The night I went to New York, I'm doing a series based off I did 3 shows off my project. The first one was in LA, and we released a project called The Night I Went to LA. The next one that we did was actually this week in Chicago. We dropped The Night I Went to Chicago project, and now we're going to do our final release, which is The Night I Went to New York, based off of the New York show that we're doing. So, yeah, that'll be the next release. But then also I got my first official single, my first time ever selling music on iTunes. This is a song called Call Me When It's Over featuring Chris Brown. So we're going to get that on iTunes next month. And,
congrats.
yeah, we're going to shoot the video, and then we got a lot more stuff coming after that.
Nice.
Thank you, man.
You're always on that innovative, creative tip, which
Oh,
I
yeah,
always
for
appreciate.
sure,
That
for
you
sure.
separate yourself from others on the creative side of
Yeah,
things.
man,
you
we
know?
got to keep it interesting. And I'm just inspired by so much stuff, man. I'm like a real sponge out here. So I listen to all different types of music. And I just feel like it's unfair to, like, be being real to myself, honestly, to not touch on all of those different elements. Like, it would be just not a fun life for me to stay in a rap box. So I like to just keep it as interesting as I can. And I'm glad people can ride along with that, you know. I really wanted to be that way with taking a risk, knowing that a lot of people may not be able to understand what I'm doing. But by the grace of God, a lot of people get where I'm trying to go with it. So I think that's dope.
Nice. Well, man, thank you for coming out, being on Ante Up. It's some fun.
Man, anytime.
Super fun,
I
man.
rock with y'all, man. We got to do this again.
We're gonna talk about wrestling next time.
Seriously.
I'm gonna get in tune, and then I'm gonna have a lot to talk about with that.
No.
But it's another episode of Ante Up. You can check out all hip-hop news at XXLmag.com.
Yeah.
This is Manny.
Roger.
Rockie Fresh checking in. Yeah.
Nice. And we'll see you next week.
We out.
Peace.